Hello everybody, and we're live. So, I have a special treat for you today. We're going to take a look at Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. So, I've had this a lot on the mind. I was watching the cinematics the last couple days, and I managed to get it working, which is nice because I absolutely love this game. I played this game so much as a child, and I'm so happy I managed to get it working on this. So as we go, let me know if the sound balance is okay and if you can hear it okay. So that being said, let us begin. So Alpha Centauri is probably the best game Sid Meier's made. It's arguably the greatest strategy game of all time. I think there's a good case to be made for it. It's probably the most philosophical and deep game of all time. So we're just gonna start. So pardon me if I suck. I haven't played this in like 10 years. Okay, sound balance is decent. Good. So I want huge map of planet. So I'm gonna take specialist because I haven't played this in a long time. Let's see, customize rules. Intense rivalry, world map not visible, supply pods, bell curve, time warp, Iron Man, do or die. Okay, that looks fine to me. Let's see here. So, okay, I'm gonna go with that. So I have to choose a faction. So in Alpha Centauri, there's a bunch of... Okay, so basically what happened is humanity got destroyed. The world was destroyed by war, famine, disease, and environmental disaster. So humanity took off into the stars. And a bit like a Fallout game, you have all these different factions that emerged. All these different factions that emerge that all have very different views of what the new world should be like, based on whatever their old world, what presence they were on the old world. So I'll talk a bit more about that once we get into it. Let's see here. So I normally play as University as Planet, led by Prokhorov Zakharov. Oh well, I'm just gonna wait. I will we'll get to that once we go. So I'm gonna go with all the original factions. So I'll talk about the factions as we get into this. We have the Spartans, the Morganites, and I'll go with the Planet Cult. Let's see, Cult of Planet, Morgan Industries. No, not the Cult of Planet. That would be the Gaians. There we go. Lady Deidre Sky. Actually, you know what? I'll play as Gaia. I'll play as the Gaians. Normally, there's one or two factions I play as. It's either Gaians or University of Planet. So I'll set University of Planet. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to select OK.
Of the universe regresses infinitely towards smaller and smaller components. Behind atoms,
I just want to... Okay, so we're going to start. Okay, let's see here. The UN Starship Unity has arrived in the Alpha Centauri system after a 40-year voyage. All contact with Earth has been lost. After the Captain's Association by an unknown assailant, the crew mutinied and split into factions. In the ensuing conflict, some seized control of the Unity's colony pods. You now shape the destiny of the University faction, which has just made planet fall. So let's see, University base. So let me see if I can remember how to even play this game, because it's been a long time. So I'm playing as University's planet, so I'm going to set this guy... Oh, okay, I have to fortify him. Hold position. Let me just... where's the menu button?
They look up to you.
Audio visual, let me just turn music down. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. All right. So basically your job is to colonize Alpha Centauri. So that end, you can build colony pods. There's all kinds of interesting things you can do. So I think I'm going to build a scout patrol first. Just, oh no, I have excess production. Just so I can start exploring the planet. Now what's interesting about the game for this time is all of the technologies have voiceovers. So every time you research a technology, they have like a cool quote or something like that. So, let's see here. I want Discover, I guess. Okay, you can't move over fungus. Oh no, you can move over xenofungus. Let's see here. How do I move diagonally? Move unit to here.
Recovered.
Oh, cool. So I can talk to Chairman Yang now. Let's see here.
Therefore, a wise prince will seek means.
Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna restart with Gaia's Believers. Also, I realized I did something. Oh. What the hell? Okay. Oh, I thought that was retire from the game. I didn't realize that was end the game. Okay, then. Bugged Alpha Centauri mechanics, TBH. Sorry about that, guys. We're gonna... I always forget in these games there's a retire button, and then there's the quit button, and they're kind of next to each other. And that can get a little confusing. There we go. It's reloaded. Argent, what are your top 5 favorite video games? Well, I did a video on that. Let's see here. Okay, start game. Huge map of planet, specialist, custom rules. Where's tech strategy? No, I want turn off blind research. So I want to take Gaia's stepdaughters as my faction.
In the Great Commons of Gaia's Landing, we have a tall and particularly beautiful.
Okay, so here we go. Keep in mind, this is 1999. This is a very old game. It's too bad because basically what happened with the Alpha Centauri series is it got stuck in limbo, and that's why there's never been another one. I think Sid Meier would have really liked to do another one, but it was just never in the cards. Are you gonna have a special Christmas video? Yes, there will be a special Christmas video. I just have to get to it.
Unit max required ability complete. Turn complete. Turn complete. Production complete.
So as Gaia's stepdaughters, I get to start off with the technology that lets me build formers. Formers are the engineer unit in this game. So let's see here. Action. How do I set this? There we go. Automate unit. So here we go. We can take a different... There's a whole bunch of different stuff we can build. I normally take social psychology level 1.
Turn complete.
So let's see here.
Turn complete. Turn complete.
It could really do with a graphic overhaul remake, though. Yeah, the reason we don't have an Alpha Centauri 2 is, like I said, it's stuck in limbo. So they were never able to really make it again. So instead they gave us Beyond Earth, which is a really lame kind of variant of this. Okay, so a bit about the factions. So there's all kinds of different factions in this game, and they have different ideologies. I'm playing as Gaia's stepdaughters. Gaia's stepdaughters is kind of the green faction. Their basic philosophy is that old Earth died because humanity didn't live in harmony with the environment. And what's interesting about Alpha Centauri is on the new planet that they go to, they What was it again? The planet is in the early stages of sentience, which is kind of interesting. Basically, the planet has kind of this collective consciousness that's made up of the fungus, the mindworms, and a bunch of other alien creatures. And as you arrive on the planet, it's right before it's kind of reaching a critical mass, in which the planet itself is going to become completely self-aware. Oh, formers. I don't want to build formers. I want to build a colony pod.
Turn complete.
What's interesting about this game is most of the stuff from... Most of the quotes come from this movie called Baraka. I doubt anybody's ever heard of Baraka, but Baraka is this really strange movie that's completely non-linear. I'm trying to remember when it first appeared. Oh, mindworms captured. Cool. Got some mindworms.
Nutrient resources.
Okay.
Production complete.
Okay, so I can build a new colony now, which is nice. And I can start exploring. Always investigate monoliths. Let's see here. And auto-explore.
Resources.
Last strategy game I tried was Europa. Yeah, Europa Universalis is a really good game. All of them are good. 4 was really bad at launch, but it's gotten a lot better over time. Like I said, yeah, like at the beginning it was terrible. The first generation of it was almost unplayable. But yeah. Are you celebrating Thanksgiving? We had Thanksgiving a while ago. In Canada, we have Thanksgiving October 8th. So yes, my family did celebrate Thanksgiving. It was just a month ago.
Discover a better way of life than office holding for your future rulers, a well-governed city becomes a possibility. For only in such a state will those rule who are truly rich, not in gold, but in the wealth that makes happiness, a good and wise life. Plato, The Republic, Data Links.
So every time you discover a new technology, they have an interesting philosophical quote, either from something in Earth's history, the Bible, or something from one of the faction leaders to kind of add to the flavor of the game, which is really interesting. Let's see here. I will take information networks next. Okay.
Recovered.
Oh, cool. Alien artifact. What is that? Okay, so I can study that alien artifact, so I'll build a colony there. So yeah, what the Gaians want is they want to live in harmony with the planet. One of their goals is to syncretize the old Earth, the plants of old Earth with the plants of new Earth. And once that's been done, they want to eventually, their goal is to pursue the ascent to transcendence. The ascent to transcendence in this game is where basically humanity merges with the planet, and all of humanity becomes part of the collective unconsciousness of the planet. There's a couple different ways to victory. That is one of them. There's the ascent to transcendence. There's a number of others ways of winning this. I gotta say, I play Civ and I do not miss Civ 2, and I miss the black fog of war. Yeah, it's not that great, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do, but I digress. Let's see here. Spore Launcher has long-range fire. That's kind of cool.
Turn complete.
So I'm not doing too well in
Righteous
terms.
need not cower before the drumbeat of human progress. Though the song of yesterday fades into the challenge of tomorrow, God still watches and judges us. Evil lurks in the data links, as it lurked in the streets of yesteryear. but it was never the streets that were evil.
So,
Sister Marion Godwinson, The Blessed Struggle.
So, Sister Miriam Godwinson leads the Lord's Believers. So, the Lord's Believers, I think a mixture of Catholicism and fundamentalist Protestantism. So, their entire philosophy in this game is they're opposed to transhumanism, is I think probably the best way to put it. The Lord's Believers view transhumanism as a perversion of the natural order and of God. And Sister Miriam Godwinson's main work is called We Must Descent. And that becomes a theme, especially once you move later and later in the game, closer and closer to transhumanism. Her continual warning is that you're starting to lose what makes them human. So that's the Lord's Believers. They're kind of the irony of them is they're widely despised by like fans of the game just because they're a fundamentalist Christian faction. Although ironically, they're kind of the good faction. They're the faction who is probably has the best goals, as they're against stuff like creating a race of slave labor using genetic engineering. They're against they're against that. They're against nerve stapling, which is basically like lobotomizing people. They're against all kinds of just really shady stuff. So it's funny because they're kind of the most traditionally good faction, despite the fact that they're universally kind of hated by the fan base, because a lot of the fan base are fedoras. Although, ironically enough, Sid Meier is very religious. Sid Meier is I think a very devoted Lutheran, if memory serves.
Recovered.
So here we go, Song of Planet. We have another city.
Resources exist to be consumed, and consumed they will be. If not by this generation, then by some future. By what right does this forgotten future seek to deny us our birthright? None, I say. Let us take what is ours, chew and eat our fill. CEO Nwabudike Morgan, The Ethics of Greed.
Oh, you want to Let's Play? Okay, maybe I'll do one at some point. They just don't always get the best views. So this is Nwabudike Morgan. So, yeah, so Nwabudike Morgan is the head of the Morganites. So the Morganites are a faction that's entirely based on capitalism. And their view is that in order to... they want to achieve dominance on the planet, not through syncretism with the local environment, not through military conquest. Their desire is to corner the energy market. They think once they control all energy in society, they will be able to rule the world more or less. It's kind of interesting because what they say in it is in past, the ones who had control of the power company, sorry, the past the ones who controlled energy was the power company. We intend to take...
Scientific theories are judged by the coherence they lend to our natural experience and the simplicity with which they do so. The grand principle of the heavens balances on the razor's edge of truth. Commissioner Pravin Lal, A History of Science.
See, that's what's interesting about the game, is all the quotes are like really good. They're very interesting, and the voice acting is really top-notch. It's strange to see a game from 1999 that has like audio this clear.
Production complete.
So let's see here.
Nutrient resources.
So let's see. I want to build a former and then a network node. So then I'll also build I guess a synth metal garrison. Oops. no, I want to get rid of that from the queue. There we go. Oh, let me see. What else do we have here? I'll build a colony. There, I guess.
Turn complete.
Play XCOM 2. I played XCOM 2. I just get bored with the XCOM games. I actually got pretty far in XCOM 2. I just... Oh, shit. Oh, I hate native life forms. Oh, okay, cool. So he's been promoted. So yeah, planet is full of indigenous life forms like spore launchers and mine worms and all of that kind of thing. So as time goes on, they will get more and more aggressive, and eventually there's a couple different ways to deal with it. One of them is to pursue the ascent to transcendence, in which case you kind of become one with planet, and all the life forms naturally stop attacking you because there's no more reason for you to fight. In some other scenarios, you just try to beat them through other means. No, this game does have really good graphics considering when it was made. Let's see here. Just hold until you've been healed. So here we go. I have met the University of Planet. The beautiful Lady Deidre. So I think the Gaians are a feudal society, actually, which is kind of interesting. So the University of Planet is an amoral organization that's entirely dependent on the idea of research. So within their society, it's a technocracy, and basically they give everybody intelligence tests, and people who pass intelligence tests get to become part of the university faculty. Everybody else is basically just either, I guess, kind of used for experimentation, and eventually they're just completely replaced by robots. Let's see here. I will exchange it for biogenics. Okay. Yes, I will sign a treaty of friendship with you. So now that I have a treaty of friendship with them, I am able to trade with them. This was the first Civilization game in which trade became a big factor. My cities aren't big enough to produce commerce yet, so that'll come fairly soon, I imagine. Oh, and I lost my first thing to the... yeah. Oh, let me see here. I want to see resources. So I will build that over there. Yep, I'll build a city there. And I want a synth metal garrison. Grove. Yeah, in this game you want to try to expand as fast as possible early on.
Turn complete.
So...
we hold life to be sacred, but we also know the foundation of life consists of a stream of codes, not so different from the successive frames of a watchlet. Why then cannot we cut one code short here and start another there? Is life so fragile that it can withstand no tempering? Does the sacred brook no improvement? Chairman Shenji Yang, Dynamics of Mind.
So Xinjiang is really creepy. If anybody here has read Hellstrom's Hive, basically Chairman Yang Xinjiang is Hellstrom from Hellstrom's Hive combined with Mao Zedong. So basically the Human Hive is a collectivist organization in which they have lobotomized or genetically engineered everybody into being more or less a slave to the collective. So the Human Hive is probably the most disturbing, or probably the most inhuman of the various factions in this game. So let's see, I want recycling tanks, I want network node, and then when you're done that, you can build a former. Q, I want recycling tanks, another former, and a colony pod. So because I'm the Gaians, my particular...
Production complete.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Because I'm the Gaians, I get a bonus to my environmentalism and a bonus to efficiency. So because of a bonus to efficiency, I can expand a lot faster, because having more colonies doesn't cause as many penalties as it would for other factions that don't have efficiency. Different factions get different bonuses. Let me see if I can see social engineering. Here we go. So social engineering. So I don't really have much yet. So I start off with ×2 efficiency. So I get a bonus to that. So that's good. Also we have... I start off with poor morale. Poor police, but good planet. So that's good. Okay. So let's see here. We'll just fortify this position. I should expand more. I'm just going to try and build some network nodes, because I need to get my my population growth up and running. Let's see here. Hurry. Okay. I think I'll spend some money and complete some of these, so I can get to building some other stuff.
Request confirmation.
Let's see here. Hurrying production is a lot cheaper in this game than it is in a lot of other games. In a lot of the other Civ games, like, you can realistically spend money to top stuff up. So whenever you build a new building, you get the you get a quote or a song or something, which is cool. So actually, that song was about the character I'm playing as, Lady Deidre Sky. That was from the Spartans. The Spartans are kind of the Latin American faction, and their whole thing is they want to rebuild the world in a kind of... They want to build a warrior world.
Final duty to go into the tanks and to become one with all the people. Chairman Shen Jiyang. Ethics for tomorrow.
So because he's based on Hellstrom Hive, one of the things in Hellstrom Hive is once everybody has died, their bodies are put into the nutrients processors and everybody else eats them. And the reason that they do that is so that when the individual dies, they can literally become one of the community. So, let's see here. So I can link it to our network node, and I get a free technology.
At atrociously high energy states, the properties of matter change subtly, and new miracles become possible. The plasma accretion process is now dangerous and difficult to control, but its products will soon become commonplace in our society. Sister Miriam Godwinson, the Lord works.
Okay, so I can build better technologies now. So you can... What's kind of cool about this game is you can custom build everything. So we have all these different weapons. So you can put any weapons you want on any of them. So I want to put lasers on. And then there's a whole bunch of different armor types you can put on. And then you can add on special abilities. You can add on different reactor types. You can completely customize every unit you make, which is very interesting. It's once again, they put a lot of very innovative features in this game compared to a lot of the other games that kind of came before and after. Let's see here. I want to upgrade him to... Oh, I can't upgrade him yet. Build it to there. Link to the network node. Got a free technology.
Has changed the relationship between himself and his environment. He cannot return to the blissful ignorance he left. Motion of necessity involves a change in perspective. Commissioner Previn Lal, A Social History of Planet.
So Chairman Lal is the head of the Peacekeepers. So the Peacekeepers believe the failure of humanity was tyranny and trying to think how to describe it.
There are two kinds of scientific progress: methodical experimentation and categorization, which gradually extend the boundaries of knowledge, and the revolutionary leap of genius, which redefines and transcends those boundaries. Acknowledging our debt to the former, we yearn nonetheless for the latter. Academician Prokhor Zakharov. Address to the faculty.
Let's see, I'll take ethical calculus next, because that'll give me children's crash, which is a very useful technology. So I already have, yeah, I'll just finish that, and then I will build recycling tanks, colony pod, and a former. Are you guys liking the, just gonna ask the chat, are you guys liking the quotes? Because I kind of find the quotes are the best part of this game. I find them all very interesting, and they really kind of give a lot of flavor to the different philosophies of the different factions in the game. Because ideology is exceedingly important in Alpha Centauri. Just how different people deal with the, okay, interlude from the Book of Planet. Walking alone through the quarters of Gaia's Landing, you skim the security reports on recent attacks by the horrific native mindworms. Giant swarms or boils of these molted 10-centimeter nightmares have wiggled out of the fungal beds of late and now threaten to overwhelm base perimeters in several sectors. Victims are paralyzed with psi-induced terror and then experience an unimaginably excruciating death as the worms burrow into the brain to implant their ravenous larvae. Let's see here.
Turn complete.
I would like the source of the quotes, honestly. Most of the quotes are literally just original for this game. If they're quoting something that's like real, they will reference the source of it. Almost, generally speaking. So, most of the quotes you hear in this game were created originally for this game. So, that's neat. Let's see, we have formers. Let's see, network node finished. Okay. I generally like to have 2 units per base. Is normally a good number to have. I can be good at games if I want to. So I actually learned a lot about science from this game. It just introduced me to a lot of concepts I had never thought of before. Like, I didn't know anything about singularities, I didn't know anything about photons or gravitons.
Right because they are deficient. Others because they are excessive in feelings or in actions. While virtue finds and chooses the mean. Aristotle, Nicomachean Ethics, Data Links.
There you go. You wanted a real-world based quote. So, there we go. Aristotle, Nicomachean Ethics. Anytime it says data links, that means it's something real-world. that it's referencing. Let's see here. I want Secrets of the Human Brain, I guess. So I want to enact social engineering. Let's see, democratic government. I'm going to adopt democratic government for the moment. Because I can, and because that gives me really high efficiency rates.
This network node is already linked to an artifact. This network node is already production complete artifact.
Let's see here. I want to build a new city. So I'll build a base there.
Initiated. Production complete. Turn complete. Turn complete. Turn complete. Production complete.
Richard Spencer with Robert Spencer. Robert Spencer is like one of the most based men who's ever lived. I love how Robert Spencer has to live in hiding because of the stuff he writes about Islam.
Insufficient energy.
Robert Spencer is awesome. I think he has like 5 kids or something. I remember he used to be a university professor or something, and he got like kicked out for being too based.
Enemy project initiated. Turn complete. Production complete.
Okay, there we go. Another new city I can found. And I'll build it here, I think.
Enemy project initiated.
Oh, wow. Okay, I have a lot of colony pods, so I can build a whole bunch of new cities.
Production complete.
There are only 2 ways in which we can account for a necessary agreement of experience with the concepts of its objects. Either experience makes these concepts possible, or these concepts make experience possible. Immanuel Kant, Critique of Pure Reason, Data Links.
So Robert Spencer writes... Basically, he just writes books about Islam. Like, one of his big ones is he wrote The Politically Incorrect Guide to Islam. He also wrote the Complete Infidel's Guide to Islam. He's also written Did Muhammad Exist? What are some of the other things he's written? The Truth About Muhammad, the founder of the world's most intolerant religion. So the reason why Robert Spencer is so anti-Islam is because his family are Greeks from Turkey. So his family got kicked out of Turkey because after World War I, when the Ottoman Empire was collapsing, there was a population exchange where they physically removed all the Turks from Greece, and then they physically removed all the Greeks from Turkey. So that's more or less what happened. So his family was one of the families that got kicked out of Turkey during that time period. And as a result, he's understandably not very happy about Islam. So Spencer is a Greek Catholic, which is kind of unique and interesting. You don't see too many Greek Catholics, unfortunately. Who knows? Let's see how it goes. What's really sad that I found out the other day is the Maronite rite is actually super paused. Because I would have thought that the Maronites would have been based just because they have to live with Muslims. But basically what happened with them is they have a bad case of notice me senpai towards Western civilization. So to try to get senpai to notice them, they just come about with the most liberal stuff possible. So actually, it's interesting because I've been reading a lot of Neoplatonic philosophy lately. That's kind of my philosophical, I guess you could say, tradition, or my school of thought that I come from is... Will you do a reaction review of The Last Jedi? Yeah, I'll see it eventually. I'm just not going to rush out to see it. Yeah, I'll build that there. Who wants to get noticed? Maronites want to get noticed by Westerners, by like Europeans. So as a result, they just have they just made it a super liberal right when there's no reason it should be.
Production complete.
Oh, let me see here.
Indigenous life forms.
There we go.
Production complete.
Oh, that's a really bad sign, Jolly. At least she's like a super boring character, so it's not like anything of like super value is going to be lost. Like Ray is literally like the most boring character I can think of in like anything. The only character who might be worse than her is Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is pretty insufferable too. But it's just bad all around. It's just bad all around. It's a terrible movie. The Force Awakens is honestly one of the worst made movies I've ever seen. That like that should have been good, because there's lots of like bad movies that you expect to be shitty, but I don't know. Let's see. I'll build that there. Silverbird Park.
Turn complete.
And I want to raise Luke without any of the charm, and 30 years later with no improvements. Yeah, it's true. I mean, because Luke was really likable. As you guys have noticed from the number of videos I put out, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, like a huge Extended Universe fan. I've read a lot of the books. I just got through I read the Darth Bane trilogy recently. The Darth Bane trilogy is really interesting. If anyone hasn't read it yet, I would really recommend getting the book Thrawn. See, they brought Timothy Zahn back because Thrawn was such a fan favorite. They made him canon. So yes, Thrawn is now canon in the new canon, which is really cool. And he's very similar to how he was before.
Proper care and education for our children remains a cornerstone of our entire colonization effort.
In Warhammer 40k, you have ships with a kilometer-thick armor.
Project initiated.
Star Wars isn't really sci-fi per se, it's more science fantasy. There's a difference. Star Wars has a lot of fantasy elements in it, more so than most just pure sci-fi things would normally have. Is 8 out of 10 good, Jolly Crocodile? Because, I don't know, it sounds pretty good to me. I really liked it. It was very much classic Thrawn. And anything that's classic Thrawn is good in my books. But, yeah. I kind of hope that Poe and Finn are gay, because that will remove them from the gene pool. Ugh, I can't believe it's gotten to that point. Yeah, the Thrawn, the voice actor they got to play Thrawn does a really good job. He has a really deep voice.
Bot recovered.
Like kind of a really low, deep, kind of raspy voice. And he does a really good job playing Thrawn. I'm sending units to garrison it. Stop bothering me. Let's see. Continue exploration. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm kind of falling behind in a lot of stuff.
Indigenous life forms.
Oh boy. There we go. see, I need to have 2 in each location, so I'll move him there to help that out.
Indigenous life forms.
Oh.
Production complete.
Drone riots? Why am I having drone riots? What are people angry about? Oh, I don't have any... Okay, I see why now. Let's see. I need to put a little bit of money into... I'll reduce economy and put some psych in. Okay.
Production complete.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. That'll balance the drones out for a couple turns at least.
If our society seems more nihilistic than that of previous eras, perhaps this is simply a sign of our maturity as a sentient species. As our collective consciousness expands beyond a crucial point, we are at last ready to accept life's fundamental truth, that life's only purpose is life itself. Chairman Shen Jiyang, looking God in the eye.
Okay, so there we go. I have probe teams now, which is nice. And I will take polymorphic software as my next one. Okay, and I came in contract with the Spartans. Okay. Okay, good.
He held his arm too stiffly, and so was thrown back repeatedly, until at last I seized his forearm and snapped it back against itself. His training suffered while the arm healed, of course, but I felt this was a lesson he must learn early, and well. Spartan Kell, honing the key.
Okay, cool. I can build C-formers now, which is nice. See, colony pod. Yeah, you can build C ones in this game. Let's see, it's a deal or be the best nation. I normally just try to win through ascent to transcendence.
Advance is an inherently iterative process. One does not simply take sand from the beach and produce a data probe. We use crude tools to fashion better tools, and then our better tools to fashion more precise tools, and so on. Each minor refinement is a step in the process, and all of the steps must be taken. Chairman Shen Jiyang, looking God in the eye.
Okay, there we go. I have another treaty. I should talk with the university and see if I can... Okay, I'm going to go with industrial economics. Actually, maybe progenitor psychology. Where to build the next colony? I guess I'll build it over there.
Production complete.
I want you to start producing C4. Actually, build that. And then C-formers, and then pressure dome, and then I guess recreation commons. I should start building secret projects at some point soon.
Nutrient resources. Nutrient resources. Indigenous life forms. Turn complete. Enemy project initiated.
Let me see here. How's the weather paradigm coming? So what's also is cool in this game is you can make partial payments, which is really nice. Which is kind of something I don't think you can do in any of the other Civilization games.
Production complete.
Ooh, okay, so that gives me some extra money. getting the weather paradigm is really useful because it speeds up the rate at which you can build technology. And being able, build improvements. And building improvements is very important in this game. Well, it's important in all the Civ games. It's especially important in this game. Let's see here. Oh, okay, so that's university territory there. So I can push it back and forth. Thoughts on net neutrality? I don't really know enough about net neutrality, to be honest. So I don't really feel like I'm in a good position to have an opinion on it.
Production complete.
Drone riots. I have to do something about drones ultimately. Doctor.
Production complete.
Okay, and Song of Planet. You can start building sea formers. And then I want that, and that, and that. Let's see, can I finish the weather paradigm? It's almost done. Argent treats us like garbage. Let's see here. No, I'm sorry guys, I just don't know much about net neutrality. It's not an issue I've ever really looked into in depth. It's probably something I should look into, but... yeah, at the moment I just use a VPN on this whole, with regards to stuff like net neutrality. Okay, green status. Oh, crap. Oh, I need to finish the weather paradigm before he does. Let's see here.
Insufficient energy. Invalid base site.
I'll build that there.
Project.
Yes! I built it! Cool, we get to have a...
planet as an enemy, but shall accept its mysteries as gifts to be cherished. Nor shall I crudely seek to peel the layers away like the skin from an onion. Instead, I shall gather them together as the tree gathers the breeze. The wind shall blow and I shall bend. The sky shall open and I shall drink my fill. Gaian Acolyte's Prayer.
Yay! Okay, that's like one of the best projects in the game. Terraforming speed is super important. It's probably the... I don't know, it's one of the best projects in the game. It or the cloning vats is probably the best secret project in the game. So I want you to build... let's see... Aquafarm. Yeah, build an aquafarm next.
Turn complete.
Well, with regards to DSP, I'm tempted. I'm getting a tripod because it's as part of a Black Friday sale. So I'm tempted to doing a cooking with the Templar segment where I will like. Oh, okay. DSP actually addressed the whole "why am I toxic" thing today. It's funny because he always talks about how he doesn't watch detractor videos, but every time some new detractor thing goes on, he always immediately knows about it and immediately addresses it on stream. He's like, I don't know about any of I don't watch any of these videos, but But this thing has to stop. Okay, I might have to do a cooking episode. How to make Canadian cuisine.
Destroyed. Production complete.
I don't really know if there's Canadian cuisine. It's an interesting question.
Production complete.
Okay.
Indigenous life forms.
Let's see, I want to activate this garrison. And move him up as well.
Improvement destroyed.
Ugh.
Production complete. Insufficient energy. Insufficient.
Hopefully the mind worms won't destroy that settlement before you get some soldiers there. Black beans. Yeah, I could do black beans.
Production complete.
I wonder what I would do for it. I'd probably do some sort of stir fry, or maybe I'd make penne.
Drone riot.
So I want to poll the chat. What do people think DSP's super secret thing he can't talk about is? Like the whole thing where he might lose his house. Like, what do you guys think it is? Is it
Production complete.
Is it taxes? Is it Leanna trying to take the house away from him with Tyrone? Like, what do you guys think that the whole DSP thing is?
Improvement destroyed.
I just, I've been really curious about it. He's been very tight-lipped about the whole thing.
Improvement destroyed.
Juvenile sea lurks when isolated from the collective planetary consciousness.
Okay, let's see here. I want sea formers. It could be a hoax. Yeah, I've thought about that. Because he has mentioned it again. Because I thought if it was a hoax, he was going to mention it once and never talk about it again. But he has talked about it multiple times, which I was not expecting to have happened. So I really do wonder if there is something.
Appears to sense and possibly even manipulate local fields and untrained humans.
As I've said, if he would sell his house, he could pay off most of his debt. If he can believe, which he can't. But if we're going to pretend that he's telling the truth for once, his house has gone up 50% in value since he moved in. So he could just sell his house and pay off most of his debt, which is what he should do. I mean, that would pretty much solve his problems if he sold out his house and moved to his condo. But that's not how people who run businesses think.
Beauty and brilliancy of the ocean's skin. One forgets the tiger heart that pants beneath it, and would not willingly remember that this velvet paw but conceals a remorseless fang. Herman Melville, Moby Dick, Dagalinks.
Okay, Recreation Commons, good. Oh, let's see here.
Maximum population reached.
Guys, I'm tired of these memes.
Careful review of your options is in order.
Tired of these memes people are making about me. I don't know like where I heard of these memes because I don't watch detractor videos, but like I can't take these memes. They're just everywhere. It's a fucking detractors. The irony about Why Am I Toxic is DSP has such little
Production complete.
self-awareness. He doesn't seem to get I don't know, he just for whatever reason he can't seem to understand why people would think that he's toxic. I don't know if he's just that dumb, if he's just a narcissist, or like what his deal is. Like how anyone could be that clueless. One of the interesting things about it is, I don't know, it's just, he's such a weirdo. He's such a weird guy.
Production complete.
Okay, so I'm starting to have drone riots. So this is fixable. I just need to put some... There's a thing that if I build, it's... yeah. But no, like, DSP could resolve all of his issues. He just needs to sell his house, move back to the condo in Connecticut, and that would literally resolve everything. But he doesn't want to do that because people who run businesses think that way, I guess. They don't think of ways to solve problems. They just beg for money repeatedly and make up stories about how they're going to lose their house because the Illuminati are coming to take their house away. I mean, I made that joke because literally, isn't that basically what he's saying? We have no idea who's trying to take his money away. Like his house away. It's just like some random... He just said it. He's just like, oh, the Illuminati's trying to take my house away, guys. Or just some vague force. Maybe the Sons of Kojima were trying to take his house away. Okay, that's not a bad guess. I'm gonna go with that. Like, why does he even care about living in Washington? He doesn't know anybody. He never goes outside. He literally spends all day sitting in his house playing video games. I think, like, the worst part of it is, if you've noticed, he doesn't even like video games anymore. He calls it work.
Production complete.
He calls it work, and he talks about getting through them, and he just never seems to enjoy any of it.
As it tends so carefully to the fungal blooms. Just the right bit from the yellow.
Drone riots.
Drone riots and Gaia's Landing. Crap. Okay, I have to really start doing some stuff about the drones, or they're going to start destroying my society.
The entire character of a base and its inhabitants.
Okay, so I'll start building recreational buildings, and that should start to take care of some of the drone issues I've been having. Drones, for those of you who don't know, is the... let's see, what does Empathic Guild do? 50% votes in elections for... okay. Why am I toxic? Remember when DSP thought that all his problems would go away because the Sons of Kojima disbanded? Yeah, that didn't happen.
Perhaps a careful review of your options is in order.
Okay.
Perhaps a careful review of your options is in order.
Okay, there we go. Okay, need to keep expanding.
Improvement destroyed. Resource shortfall.
Ooh. Yeah, I've got to really start cleaning stuff up soon.
Resource shortfall.
Why am I having a resource shortfall? I don't know, it's kind of weird. Has anyone... I've heard rumors that Fred Fox is like is going to reform the Sons of Kojima, and come back like Rocky. I don't know, has anybody heard about that? Because I've heard he's like planning to make his big comeback sometime in the near future. I don't know, if anybody knows anything about that, let me know, because that would be interesting.
Improvement destroyed.
Let's see here. I need to build some stuff on the border just so the borders of my faction don't get pushed down by the Spartans. Let's see, I'll build a colony there.
Our first challenge is to create an entire economic infrastructure from top to bottom out of whole cloth. No gradual evolution from previous economic systems is possible because there is no previous economic system. Each interdependent piece must be materialized simultaneously and in perfect working order. Otherwise, the system will crash out before it ever gets off the ground. CEO Nwabudike Morgan, the Centauri Monopoly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me see here. What's going on? Okay, sorry, someone was just texting me. I'm gonna go with industrial automation. Yeah, okay. Really have to address that drone problem. Oh, well, it'll be addressed soon. Okay, I should start building some other stuff here. Let's see here. What do we need? We need sea formers, aqua farm, pressure dome, biology lab, and energy. Actually, recreation commons and energy drink. Is the title clickbait? No, this is like one of the best games of all time. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to come on and do a relatively short stream and just kind of let you know I'm still alive. I should probably head out now. I have some stuff to do before I go to bed. So, just before I go, I've just kind of been doing polls. Are people okay with the current release schedule of Ava episodes? Because I have up to episode, I think, 16 done. So I've just been uploading 2 a week. I'm thinking of just doing one Wednesday and one Sunday or one Saturday. I can do them more often. I'm just not sure if, like, what people want with regards to how often people want them to be uploaded.
Richard Baxton piloted his recon rover into a fungal vortex and held off 4 waves of mindworms, saving an entire colony. We immediately purchased his identity manifests and repackaged him into the
Okay. Well, 2 a week is fine for me. Alright, good night, guys. I'll talk to y'all later.